presentation. Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you everyone for your time today. I know it's around noon on your time. Thank you very much for joining this. Sorry. Okay, so today I'm here to talk to you about, I hope you can see my screen. This is a PowerPoint that I'm going to do today. Just a brief presentation on why you should consider studying abroad in Japan. Okay, there's somebody leaving a message. Just a second. Okay, somebody says there's a hearing problem. Can you guys hear me okay? Or do I have problem? We're hearing you. Okay, I think somebody's having problem. It's not my problem. It seems like it's whoever that cannot hear me. You have to check your setting on your side. I think everybody else is okay on hearing me. So okay, let me get started. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about why you should consider studying abroad in Japan. Okay, I am based in Japan, and I want more people. I want more people to come to study abroad here in Japan from Africa. That is why I'm giving you this presentation today, okay? So that you can understand why it's a good idea for you to consider studying abroad in Japan, okay? So today I'm going to talk about a few things. One is I want to give you a brief self-introduction. Who am I and what is this organization that I work for? Then I want to talk to you about the benefits of studying abroad in Japan. I think somebody raised their hand. I guess you can ask questions after I finish the presentation. So just hold on with your questions. And after we finish the presentation, you can basically ask all the questions you want. We'll have time for Q&A at the very end. Okay, so what are the benefits of studying in Japan? I'm going to talk about it from two different aspects. One is salary, okay? What kind of salary are you expected to earn after you graduate from a university in Japan? And how expensive it is to get a degree in Japan in the first place. Okay, and I'm going to show you that it's relatively cheap compared to some of the other countries. At the very end, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how our organization can help you get into a university in Japan. Okay. First, let me start with a little bit of self-introduction. Okay, so what is our organization? We're a nonprofit organization that try to help students get into a university in another country so that they can start an international career. Okay, and we're based in Tokyo, in Japan, and we primarily reach out to African students and help them to get into universities in Japan. Okay, and we're not a business, so we're doing this entirely for free. Okay, so you're not paying any money to us by doing this, by listening to our presentation. Okay, so what we do is we try to reach out to students and to schools and governments to get them to accept more foreign students. So we talk to you, the students, we talk to the universities in Japan so that they will take you as students. And then we also talk to the government so that they can create a right environment for more students to come to Japan to study. Okay. So why are we doing this? Okay, that's because of my personal background. Okay, so that's me. Okay, I started this organization last year. I was born in China. I moved to Japan when I was 5 years old. And I also studied in the US since I was 12 years old. I studied abroad in many different places, in the UK, in Australia, in the US, and now I'm studying abroad in Japan. Okay. Before I moved back to Japan in 2017, I was working in Tanzania for 2 years as a manager in a agricultural microfinance organization. So when I was working in Tanzania, I applied to the University of Tokyo in Japan. So I have personal experience applying to a Japanese university from an African country, which is why I'm talking to African students to show them that it's entirely possible for them to apply to a universities in Japan and then come here for study. Okay, so that's a little bit of self-introduction on my side. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of studying abroad in Japan. Okay, what are I want to first talk to you about what kind of salary you can earn after you graduate. The salaries in Japan are quite high. Here are some figures, okay? In 2019, the average salary in Japan was close to $40,000 a year. For people living in Tokyo, which is the capital city and the biggest city in Japan, the salary is even higher at around $50,000 on average per person per year. For people who work in highly demanded jobs like IT consultants, they make even more money. So on average, they make about $58,000 a year. For people who have graduate degrees like master's or PhD, they're paid even more, right? So compared to these figures that you see here, people who have masters get paid 23% more, and people who have PhD get paid 42% more. Okay, so the longer education you get, the more likely you get paid higher wages upon graduation. Okay. So at the same time, Japan is running out of workers, so it's actually relatively easy to get a job here. Here, I give you some numbers, okay? Here's a graph of the number of jobs available for each person that's applying for a job in Japan. So you see in 2019, there are almost 2.5 jobs available for every person that in the country that's looking for a job. So you can see that there's a shortage of workers here, okay? And Japan will need more foreign workers in the future because its population is decreasing. So this is Japan's population projection. So today, Japan is around 130 million people, okay? By the end of the century, in 2100, there will be only 85 million people left in Japan. So you can see that Japan's population is shrinking very fast. Just a second. Okay. Yeah, okay, all right. So because the population in Japan is declining, there will be fewer workers available, and fewer workers means that each person who's working will only get higher wages in the future, right? So you see that that's some of the salaries that you can make in Japan after you graduate. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about how you can get a university degree in Japan for a cheap price or relatively cheap price. So Japan, compared to some Western countries, is comparatively cheap for getting an education. So I give you some figures for Western countries first, okay? So this is from Yale, which is a university in the US that I went to. It's about $44,000 per year in terms of tuition or school fees. It's quite expensive. In LSE in London, in the UK, it's somewhere between 38,000 and 51,000. So it's around the same price, so also very expensive. In University of Sydney, Australia, okay, it's about 26,000 to 41,000, also very expensive. Okay, so these 3 Western countries, very expensive for education. I go to the University of Tokyo in Japan today, where you can see it's only about $5,000 a year. So compared to the other countries that I just showed you, Japan is very cheap for getting education. Okay? But you might think that, okay, $5,000 is still very expensive for school fees for every year, right? So how do we pay for it? Okay, so Japan actually offers a lot more scholarships for foreign students than many Western countries. I give you an example from the Japan Student Services Organization, which is a Japanese government organization that helps foreign students in Japan. Every year, they publish a scholarship pamphlet, okay, which details some of the scholarship on offer for foreign students here. So in this pamphlet, which is by no means including all of the scholarships available, it's just a sample of different scholarships available. But even here, you can see there are many different types available, okay? To give you some examples. First, you have the National Government Scholarship, which offers free tuition, so you don't have to pay school fees. It gives you a round-trip airplane ticket from your home country, and it also gives you about $1,400 per month in cash that you can spend on living expenses while you live in Japan, okay? And there are also more than 30 regional government scholarships. Depending on where your university is in Japan, you might be able to get one of these scholarships. These also give you free tuition, as well as around $1,000 per month in cash. okay, that you can spend on your living expenses. And there are also more than 90 private foundation scholarships. These are offered by different charities or different companies in Japan, right? And these give you around $2,000 a month in cash that you can spend on school fees or living expenses. So even in this just in this pamphlet, you see there are more than 120 scholarships available. And as I mentioned in the beginning, this pamphlet doesn't include every single scholarships that are available in Japan, only a small sample of them. So once you get into a program, a university program in Japan, the school office will be able to provide you a lot more information on different scholarships that are available to you through the university, okay? And these go beyond these 120 scholarships that I just talked about, okay? So there are many, so the conclusion is there are many scholarships that are available to help you pay for universities here. But for many foreign students, they also earn money outside of scholarships while they're studying abroad in Japan. So a Japanese student visa allows part-time work for up to 28 hours a week, right? So many foreign students, when they come here, they study, they do their homework, they also work for many hours every week so that they can increase their income, right? So some of the work that foreign students do, for example, they teach English for about $39 per hour. Okay. So they work in stores or restaurants, which are about $14 per hour. And some work in construction or factories or warehouse, which pays about $28 an hour. So you multiply that by 28 hours a week, you see how much money you can earn on the side while you are being a student in a university here. Right? So many people can save money by working on the side. Okay. So that's some of the benefits for studying abroad in Japan. Now, how can our organization help you? We're here to help you in several ways. One is show you the language. Okay. Many students ask whether it's possible to study in Japan without speaking Japanese. Okay, it is indeed possible, but it's very difficult because there are not that many school programs that are entirely in English. Okay, there are many more are going to be in Japanese. And once you graduate and you want to work in Japan, it's essential that you have some Japanese language skills. So there are many channels for you to learn the language. You can learn them online, or you can learn them before you enroll in a university program once you come to Japan. Okay. We can help you point out some of the things that you can do to learn the language, at least the basic elements of it. Now we can tell you where to apply. Our websites have a list of different programs that are available from our partner universities. Okay, I'll send you the link to this later on so that you can check them out and see how you can apply there. And because we work with our partner universities, they also tell us how you can apply to those universities. Okay, and we can answer your questions by our information on the website. Okay. And lastly, we can help you by providing some information on how you can live in Japan. Okay, all of you have never been to Japan, I'm sure. And when you come to Japan, you realize that it is quite different from your home country in many ways, not just school, but outside of school as well. Okay, so we can provide you some information about what is it like to live in Japan. Okay. As I briefly mentioned, we have many direct partnership with the Japanese universities. We contact their admission officers, and these admission officers provide us information about their programs. Okay, and we have these program information on our website. So because we get this information, we can provide you tips and advice on how to get into the programs easier, okay? And that's it. We have our website, we have our social media that I will also send you the information of later on after this call, okay? And that's it for my presentation today. I want to see if anybody have any questions. Okay, for whoever that's raised their hand, feel free. You can ask questions now. Anyone? Any questions? Anyone? No questions?
Yes, hello.
Hi there. Go ahead, go ahead.
How are you doing?
Good, how about you?
Good. Okay. Thank you so much for the presentation.
No problem at all.
It's brief, and then we have learned something from you. And then I believe the students from the Gambia College will be so much interested to study in Japan.
Sounds good.
Anyway, we appreciate and then we thank you for the time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. As president of the student union, I really appreciate the time and then all those things. Yes, firstly, my question is like if students from the Gambia College want to study in Japan, and then what is the first step that they could do? And then in terms of the scholarship that you're talking about, how can one obtain the scholarship to study in Japan? Because I believe like in your, and then the third question will be, when will be your next intake, so that before that intake, students from the Gambia College can able to do the necessary things in order to study in Japan. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. First question, what is the first step for applying to Japanese university? So as I briefly mentioned earlier, we have a website where we provide information on different partner universities and their programs that are available for foreign students. So after this call, I will share you the link to our website that has all those information, okay, all the partner universities and how to apply to each of those universities, okay? And then you can take a look at all of those different application processes and you can see which ones you'll be interested in, okay? So that's the first step. Second question, how to apply for scholarships. The scholarship application process actually happens after you are accepted into an academic program. The scholarship process starts with the university here in Japan. So once you're accepted into a university in Japan, the university will be able to tell you, okay, for our university, it's possible to apply to these different scholarships. Okay, so they'll provide you the information on which scholarships you are eligible to apply for. Okay, so the first step is still to get into a university first, and then the scholarship application process will start. Okay, so that's question number 2. And sorry, what was question number 3? There was a third question. Sorry,
yes, question number 3 was when will be the next intake?
Sorry about that. Yeah, okay. So in terms of the next intake, this is a little bit problematic because of the COVID situation. As you know, COVID has made education quite difficult at the moment. And for the Japanese government, they're currently closed in terms of the border, okay? So they're not taking any foreign students immediately at this moment, but the policy is subject to change. So we don't know when this policy will change so that the Japanese government will be able to open its borders again. So when we have information about this, we'll inform you as soon as the policy changes. Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Thank
No problem at all. Any other questions?
Hello.
Hi there. Go ahead.
Doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm fine. I'm Dudu Jane, a student of Gambia College School.
Hello, can you hear? Hello. Am I coming?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. Dodo's asking a question. So
okay. What I what I was saying is like, what is the requirement if one want to study in your institution and the individual have already finished his diploma or high diploma program at the Gambia College? So what will be the requirement? And then what will your association or your institution that is students to study abroad can do to help students of the Gambia College to make sure that if they are accepted in your institution, they will be helped to get that scholarship to study in Japan?
So, okay, thanks for the question. Dodo, do you want to ask your question first? Because you were asking something before, or no? Okay, well, if not, then I'll answer this question first. So, okay, so what can our institution do to help you? So, we're not from the university, okay? We work with different university, but we don't belong to a certain university. So, our job is to provide you information to different universities, and we'll continue to do so when more universities contact us and tell us about different programs that are available to accept foreign students. In terms of whether we can make sure your students, whether students from Gambia College can get in and get a scholarship, this one, unfortunately, we cannot guarantee, okay? Even universities cannot guarantee this. It's up to the individual students to be able to apply to the different programs and to go through the application process. So we're not an agent. We're not an educational agent. We are only an information provider. Okay, and the individual students need to go through the application process themselves in order to get into the program and then get a scholarship. Okay. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay, and what are the requirements?
Yes, sorry. So the requirements, I think all of you probably already have the right requirement. So for undergraduate programs, you only need to have a high school diploma, okay? For graduate programs, a master's or PhD, then you need to have, for master's, you need to have a 4-year university degree. Okay, for PhD program, you need to have a master's degree already before you apply.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but again, the specific requirements for each university is slightly different. So again, we'll share with you the website, our website, which contains all the information about different universities and their requirements, and you can take a look later on.
Oh, okay, that will be helpful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Hello.
Hi, Dodo, go ahead.
Yeah, and I want to know the name of your website.
Yes, I can share the website right now in the chat. Just a second. Okay. While I find the website, is there any other questions from the floor? Hello. Okay, I posted the website on the chat, so you can take a look. That particular web page shows you all the different universities that we work with in Japan, right? If you click on the How to Apply button under each of the university, it'll lead you to a page that shows you the details of how to apply to that particular university. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Well, if there is no other questions, then we can probably end this call, and I will share with you further information over on email. Okay.
Thank you for the
Great.
I have seen the website. Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for your time today, and we'll be in touch again.
Okay, thank you so much for the time. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much for joining me.
Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye now. Bye, everyone.